Special thanks to Patreon supporter Fernand Weinchter for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Zackary here bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the McDonnell Douglas MD-500 Defender. This helicopter here is a light multi-role military helicopter based on the MD-500 light utility helicopter and the OH-6 Cayuse light observation helicopter. It originally originated in the United States and was made by the American manufacturer McDonnell Douglas. Its first flight was in 1976 and it's currently in service across basically air forces all across the world. The main users are the Republic of Korea Army, Iraqi Air Force, Israeli Air Force, and the Philippine Air Force. It's been produced since 1976 and is still being produced to this day with 471 units, in basically altogether currently built. This aircraft here is not to be confused with the H-6 Little Bird, which is similar in a lot of natures to this aircraft. However, it is a separate aircraft altogether. This aircraft mainly fulfills the role of a very light, just a very light troop carrier, a very simple ground support aircraft, and also a scouting helicopter, of course. Other than that, it's a pretty, nice little helicopter and everything like that. This vehicle itself is a Patreon requested build, so I want to go and give a special thanks to Patreon supporter Fernand Weinchter for making this video possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more than you guys already do, feel free to head out to my Patreon page. Link is down in the description where you guys can go ahead and basically, pledge to a certain reward tier and earn a cool, or maybe some cool benefits for pledging that small amount. And all, donations and proceeds really go to helping myself out and everything like that with the channel. So feel free to check it out if you guys are interested. Anyways, take a look at the helicopter itself. It's pretty cool. We have the, I believe, if I remember correctly, this is in the Nigerian kind of camouflage on it. It's got a green, kind of like a green and brown kind of camo scheme to it. Same thing kind of with the Afghan and helicopters like that. Of course, it can be done in just one solid color if you want, gray, tan, whatever you want. But I will be showing you guys how to build it in tan and then adding the camo on later on, which is pretty simple to do. Anyway, starting off with, we have the cockpit located right up here. I believe this is a two-seater cockpit. You can see it's a little cramped here just with the way it obviously looks in Minecraft, but I believe two pilots can fit in there, though it is really close. It has this optic box that kind of sticks out here. This is one of the things that kind of could separate this helicopter from other nations and stuff like that. Some nations don't have this box equipped, this optics box edition, and some just have a solid canopy, but it is there and optional, I guess, for you guys to choose if you want it or not. If you guys don't want it, you'll just copy what's on the other side over to that side. Pretty simple. The blades itself, we got a 5-blade rotor, which is kind of interesting for this small helicopter. I was actually kind of surprised it has 5 blades considering it's pretty small. Bigger helicopters like the Hind and stuff like that totally makes sense, but this with its small rotors, kind of interesting there. It's got rocket pods with this version you can see strapped on here. Obviously, these rocket pods could be removed if you do not want them, but they are a nice little addition that kind of add a little bit to the sides there and give it, a little bit more armament and stuff like that. Again, just the shaping overall, everything like that, you can see kind of like the green, brown camo kind of coming into play here. So it's kind of, again, based off that Nigerian camouflage, but, it could be modified to fit pretty much most of the other nations, really. Back here we have the horizontal stabilizers and the back tail rotor, nothing like that. Again, it's a pretty smooth, simple, nice, small aircraft that looks nice, and another helicopter to add to our Modern Warfare section, especially in your light kind of scout helicopters. This would fit perfectly in that role. Anyways, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by moving on to our first layer, Layer 1. Alright guys, so moving on to our first layer, we're going to go ahead and start off with Layer 1. Now, with Layer 1, we want to go ahead and start off by building the base here for our, basically, skids. I don't really remember the exact name for them, the skis or whatever, but basically the poles here that the helicopter lands on, basically the landing gear pretty much is what you could call it. What we want to do to get started is if you're building this thing on the ground, we're just going to build half slabs across here. If you're building this thing up in the sky, you're just going to build half slabs up in the sky. Depends on how you want it. Either way is going to work just fine. There's no special angling or anything like that when we have this thing landed or in flight. To start off with, we're going to place down a narrow brick slab followed by another brick top slab coming off of it. This is going to be the left front here of the little skids here up in the front. So this is going to be the left side here, and we're going to have the right side located over here. So just a little, little just heads up there. Anyways, after this nether brick slab, we're going to place down a sandstone stair, like this, with its back facing toward what will be the middle of the helicopter. We're then going to place down a row of 1, 2, and 3 nether brick slabs back, followed by a sandstone stair, just like that. That's going to do it for your first skid. We want to go ahead and have a 3 block space, basically in between here, and we're going to place down basically the same thing for the skids there, just over here onto this side. So your sandstone stairs and your nether brick top slabs. So just like that, pretty simple, and you're just going to go ahead and have it set up just like that for your base there. With that, that's it for layer 1. With that, let's go ahead and move on to our next layer, layer 2. Before we go ahead and move on to layer 2, I want to make one quick addition to layer 1. I actually almost forgot about these. Well, I kind of did, but now I spotted it, so we're going to add them on. We actually want to place down wither skeleton skulls behind these sandstone stairs. If you have a dark oak wood stair down here, if you want to continue the camo pattern down here, we'll probably use green zombie heads for it, but for the most part, we're going to go ahead and use some wither skeleton skulls, and of course, if you're changing the paint job, you can change these skulls to match the paint job a little bit better, but we're going to be using black for this one right here. Anyways, that's it for layer 1. With that, we can now move on to layer 2. Moving on to layer 2, we have another simple layer. We're going to start off by placing down a birchwood fence post on top of all these wither skeleton skulls, just like that. We then want to go ahead and go in between these first birchwood, basically birchwood fences there. Couldn't think of the word there for a second. And we're going to place down a sandstone top slab. Now, in case you guys haven't figured it out already, the front of our helicopters can be facing that direction there. So coming off this sandstone top slab on the front 2 birchwood fence posts, we're going to go ahead and place down a wooden trapdoor coming off of it like so. Behind this sandstone top slab, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 more back. So you have a nice row of 5 with sandstone top slabs. We're then going to place down a row of 2 of wooden trapdoors coming off the last sandstone top slab toward the rear of the aircraft. After that's all finished there, we're also going to take wooden trapdoors and place it down between these birchwood fence posts by placing down a row of 3 of these wooden trapdoors along the middle 3 sandstone top slabs. So you get something that looks just like that for the base right there of your helicopter. Once you guys have that all complete, that is going to do it for layer 2. With that, let's move on to layer 3. Alright guys, so going ahead and move on to our next layer, we'll be going ahead and moving on to layer 3. For layer 3, we're going to go ahead and start off by placing down a smooth sandstone block on top of this wooden trapdoor. Coming off the smooth sandstone block toward the front, we're going to place down a sandstone upside down stair like that. On both sides of this smooth sandstone block, we're also going to place down another sandstone upside down stair. We're going to place down a wooden trapdoor over here on the right side, coming off this sandstone stair up here in the front. And on the left side over here, we're going to place down a sandstone top slab right there in between those sandstone upside down stairs. If you guys are choosing to add this optics box on the side here, as you can see represented right here, we're going to go ahead and need to place down the sandstone top slab. If you're not, you just want to copy what's on this side, the right side of the aircraft, just over to the left side, then you're just going to go and copy what we did over here on this side. Also coming off this sandstone top slab here, we're going to place down a wooden trapdoor just like that, coming off of it like that, and that's going to do it there for the front. Going ahead and continuing on, we're going to place down a upside down spruce wood stair, corner stair that's on top of this birchwood fence post coming off this sandstone upside down stair. Same thing over here on this side as well. After that, we're going to place down another smooth sandstone block on both sides, followed by a spruce wood plank again on both sides, and a tripwire hook coming off this spruce wood plank. We're also going to place down a stone button on this smooth sandstone block here on both sides, in between the spruce wood stair and spruce wood plank. Going ahead, continuing on, we want to go ahead and place down a smooth sandstone block on both sides, just like that. After we have that complete, we're going to place down a sandstone upside down stair on top of this birchwood fence post, like that again on both sides. We're going to go ahead and then grab cobblestone walls, place down 1 and 2. Cobblestone walls going back 1 and 2 off these sandstone stairs. And we lastly want to place down a black wool block in between these first 2 cobblestone walls like that, with a stone button like that coming off the center there of that black wool block. Once you guys have that all finished right there, that is going to do it for layer 3. Or almost it. We do have the rocket pods we want to add to the side. So if you're just building the fuselage, that's good for there, but we do need to add the rocket pods on for those of you who want to add them. So for these, very simply, we're going to place down 2 wooden trapdoors coming off this sandstone upside down stair and smooth sandstone full block. we're actually going ahead and actually just place down one. So there's going to be one coming off this sandstone upside down stair. My bad. So after we have that done, we're going to place down 2 smooth sandstone blocks coming off this wooden trapdoor like that. We want to go ahead and then place down 1 and 2 more smooth sandstone blocks going back, and 1 and 2 going toward the front. On the back here, so the back of our helicopter is going to be obviously this back here. We're going to place down 2 cobblestone walls. We're going to place down a stone button on the center smooth sandstone block in between this row of 3 here. And then we also want to go ahead and go to the front here. We're going to grab ourselves some item frames and place down 2 item frames on those 2 smooth sandstone blocks with black wool in it like that for your rocket pods. Same thing can be done over here on this side for the rocket pods over here. And again, if you are putting the rocket pods on, you definitely want to put them on both sides just to make it realistic, because this helicopter would be very messed up with its weight configuration. So if you do the rocket pods on one side, you're probably going to have to do the rocket pods on the other. After that's all complete there, that is going to do it for layer 3. With that, let's go ahead and move on to layer 4. Alright guys, move on to our next layer. We have layer 4. For layer 4, we're going to start off by placing down a light gray stained glass block on top of this sandstone upside down stair. After that, on the right side of this light gray stained glass full block, we're going to place down a light gray stained glass pane. Over here on the left side, we're going to place down a smooth sandstone full block, followed by a second one on top of this wooden trapdoor like that. We're going to place down a sign here on the side of the smooth sandstone block. We're also going to place down a sign right here on the front of it, followed by an item frame also on this side of the smooth sandstone block with a black stained glass block in like that to create that optics box. Also on the side here, we're going to place down 2 signs along these 2 smooth sandstone blocks. After that's all finished there, we're then going to place down a sandstone stair on both sides like this. So this one going back from this glass pane, and this one right here going back from this smooth sandstone full block. After that block, that's the stair right there, we're going to place down a light gray stained glass block in between those stairs. And then we just want to place down a light gray stained glass block coming off the front of those sandstone stairs. After that's all complete there, we're going to place down a smooth sandstone block, both sides, stone buttons on both sides of those blocks. We're also going to place down another light gray stained glass block on both sides like that. We're going to place down a smooth sandstone block on both sides, a stone button on both sides, and we also want to go ahead and take a stone button, and we're actually going to place it down on this smooth sandstone block right here. So I missed that from the previous layer, so just going to add that on now. After that's complete there, we're going to place down another smooth sandstone block going back on both sides, followed by a cobblestone wall that's going to come off these 2 smooth sandstone blocks, and in between these smooth sandstone blocks, we're also going to place down a smooth sandstone block like so. And then come off the back here, we're going to place down a sandstone upside down stair, and we also want to go ahead and grab ourselves a wooden trapdoor. We actually need to delete this button and place down a wooden trapdoor come off this black wool block instead. So just a simple little change there for that. Once that's all complete, we are also going to need to go ahead and grab ourselves an end rod. We're going to go ahead and place down an end rod that's going to come from a block from above, kind of stick down like so. And from that, we are also going to grab ourselves some placeholder blocks. And we're going to want to go ahead and go back a total of 4 blocks from this end rod to place down an upside down stair. So from this, we're going to go back 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we just want to go and place down a sandstone upside down stair facing that direction. Again, 4 blocks of space between the end rod and the stair, and we can delete those blocks like so. Last thing for us to do for this layer is we just want to go ahead and add on to our rocket pods here. So for this, we need a sandstone slab, a redstone comparator, and also some wooden trapdoors. So we're going to place down another wooden trapdoor on top of the ones we've already created in the previous layer. We also want to place down a sandstone slab coming off the wooden trapdoor like that, followed by a redstone comparator, also basically on top of this smooth sandstone block on both sides like that, to go ahead and finish off the missile pods. With that all complete, that is going to do it for layer 4. With that, let's go ahead and move on to layer 5. Alright guys, moving on to our next layer, we have layer 5. For layer 5, we're going to start off by placing down a nether brick slab on top of this light gray stained glass block up here in the front, followed by a wither skeleton skull at a slight, probably about maybe 20, 35 degree angle on both sides, come off that nether brick slab like that. After that's finished, we're going to go ahead and place down a light gray stained glass full block going back from this nether brick slab, followed by a light gray stained glass pane on both sides of the full block. Going ahead and going back from this, we're then going to go and take our light gray stained glass light gray stained glass full block. We're going to place it down, going back to the middle, down 1, followed by another light gray stained glass pane on both sides. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves smooth sandstone. We're going to place down a smooth sandstone block on both sides. Again, stone buttons on both sides of those smooth sandstone blocks. We then want to grab ourselves light gray stained glass. We're going to place down a light gray stained glass block on both sides. After that, we're going to place down a sandstone stair on both sides, followed by a sandstone half slab that goes back like that. In between these sandstone slabs, we're going to need to place down a smooth sandstone block, like so. And from the smooth sandstone block, we're going to place down 1 and 2 more smooth sandstone blocks back, ending on top of the sandstone stair. On both sides of the second smooth sandstone block in this row of 3, we're going to place down a skeleton skull coming off of it on both sides. After this smooth sandstone block, we're going to place down a sandstone upside down stair, followed by 1, 2, and 3 sandstone top slabs back. Coming off that last sandstone top slab, we're going to place down an upside down sandstone stair, so you have a shape that looks like this on the back. We also want to grab ourselves a stone brick upside down stair. We're going to place down a stone brick upside down stair coming off the back of this sandstone upside down stair. We're going to place down a sign on the side of the stair to the right. And on the left side, we're going to place down a nether brick top slab coming off the stair. We're also going to place down a nether brick slab coming off of it toward the rear here, and a nether brick half slab going up from that top slab like that toward the front for your back tail rotor. After that is all complete there, that is going to do it for layer number 5. With that, let's go ahead and move on to layer 6. Alright guys, moving on to our next layer, we have layer 6. For layer 6, what we want to do to get started is we're going to place down a nether brick slab on top of this light gray stained glass block. After that, we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull here. Again, basically a slight angle like that from the front, maybe even actually a 45-degree angle. So just like that on both sides, with our skeleton skull like that. After that's complete, we're going back from this nether brick slab. We're going to place down a smooth sandstone full block, followed by a sandstone stair on both sides like that. Continue now, we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, and 3 smooth sandstone blocks going back. We're going to place down a wooden trapdoor on this light gray stained glass block on both sides. After that, we're going to place down a stone button on both sides of this 4th smooth sandstone block back, so just like that right there. After that block there, we're going to place down a wooden trapdoor, followed by a wither skeleton skull on top of that smooth sandstone block. We're then going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 wooden trapdoors going back like that, followed by a sandstone stair, behind the sandstone stair an upside down sandstone stair, and that's going to do it for that all right there. With that, that's going to do it for layer 5. With that, let's go ahead and move on to our last final layers, which are basically going to be layers 7 and 8. We're going to put the rotors on, and also the top basically horizontal and vertical stabilizers. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to our last final layers, layers 7 through 8. Alright guys, so moving on to layers 7 through 8, our last final layers for the build. To get started, we're going to place down a cobblestone wall on top of this smooth sandstone block right here, this first one. We're going to place down a cobblestone wall on top of it. After we have that done, we're going to place down a brick top slab going toward the, or a brick upside down stair going toward the front, and one going toward the back, followed by a brick top slab on the other 2 sides of the cobblestone wall, so you get something that kind of looks like that. After that's complete, we're going to need to go ahead and place down a sandstone slab on top of the cobblestone wall, and that's going to do it for that section there. Now we need to go ahead and add our rotors on. Rotors themselves are pretty simple overall, though they will require a little bit of work. So to get started, we have this first one that's going to stick out. So this is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 blocks long, with the brick slab on the end. So we're going to take our nether brick slabs, go to this first stair right here, place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 nether brick top slabs going toward the front, followed by a brick top slab on the end. You guys can, of course, have these blades facing whatever direction you guys want. I'm just going to be copying the same design I used over here, the same kind of position and everything like that for this one, like so. So after that's done there, we're going to go ahead and go to our side ones. These two are basically exactly the same. So for these, very simply, we're going to go ahead and go from this stone brick top slab. We're going to place down 2 nether brick, basically top slabs out. We're then going to go ahead and kind of go over at an angle, place down 2 nether brick top slabs going back. We're going to go ahead and go out over at an angle, place down 2 nether brick top slabs, and then a brick top slab on the end there. So very simple for that one, and it's the same thing over here. 2 nether brick top slabs, 2 nether brick top slabs out and going forward at an angle. Again, another 2 like that out at an angle, and a brick top slab like so. For your back ones, we're going to go ahead and go from this brick stair right here. We're going to go ahead and place down a nether brick top slab, kind of at an angle from that brick stair. Going back from the nether brick top slab, we're going to place down 2 top slabs going back like that, again kind of out to the side. We're then going to place down 1 brick top slab out to the side, We're going to place down there a row of 2 brick top slabs out to the side, and then we're going to place down a brick top slab out to the side like that. So very simple, and we're going to do the same thing over here on this side. So just like this, going back, like so, and it's going to be the same as the other one. Just like that, a nice repeating pattern. After that's all finished there, we're going to go back here to our tail piece here. So on top of this upside down sandstone stair, we're going to place down a smooth sandstone block. On either side of this basically on top of the smooth sandstone block, we're going to place down a sandstone slab, followed by a sandstone slab going off that sandstone slab to either side like that. We also want to grab ourselves a sign. We're going to place down a sign on the sides here of the sandstone slabs on the basically both sides, just like that. After you have that all done, that's going to basically do it for the McDonnell Douglas MD 500 Defender. If you guys are interested in putting the camo on it, I'll be going ahead and covering how to do so next. But if you guys are just looking for the helicopter in one standard color, you guys are pretty much good to go. Anyways, with that, let's go ahead and move on to putting a kind of camo pattern to the build and finishing this thing off. Alright, so moving on to adding a camo pattern to this build. It's overall pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Now, one thing I noticed is that they didn't tend to camo the rocket pods. However, you guys can obviously do that if you guys choose to. But just letting you guys know from pictures I saw, most of the time the rocket pods were just one standard color on them. So you can change it to maybe a green color if you want to, or you could just keep them tan and do a camo for the body. That's realistically what I was able to see most of these helicopters kind of employing. But of course, you can do whatever you really want with it. Just a little heads up there. Anyways, to do the camo, it's pretty simple. Anywhere we have sandstone stairs or sandstone slabs that we want replaced, we're going to use dark oak wood. You can even add in another kind of color of wood to kind of add a little bit more camo to it. However, we're just going to be using dark oak wood and green clay. So for this, we can go ahead and decide that we want to do the front up here. We just want to add small little blotches to it. We don't want to put like big stripes for it or anything. We just kind of want to make it like just like little kind of like little stripes or kind of like little dabs of green and color here and there, but nothing super excessive. So you can see this little section right there. And of course, remember, if you break any blocks that have like stone buttons on it or anything like that, signs, make sure you go ahead and replace them. We can even put some up, a little bit of green up here. And again, you can see we're not going overboard with it. We're trying to keep a majority of the aircraft still relatively tan while adding a little bit of green texture to it in color. Of course, also don't forget down here on the underside, you also want to go ahead and get a little bit of color going on the bottom there, just add a little bit more to it. We have our back section here, so we can go ahead and put a little bit of color mixed into the tail piece here, and even the tail itself if we really wanted to. So just like that, again, you can see we're adding a little bit of color to it to kind of, spice it up a little bit and give the build a little bit of a nicer appearance and everything like that. Makes it look a lot nicer, at least in my opinion, add a little bit of camo to it. So that's right there. On this side also, we want to do something different. So don't just copy what you do on the air side there. Try to change it up a little bit, make it a little bit more unique. We're going to go and put some green in right here for this kind of box right there that sticks out. We'll maybe put some nice little patch of green right in that section right there. And you can see the green from the air side here is kind of shown through, so just take that into account as well. That will show through. We can maybe put some green in this section here. So kind of similar to what we did on the air side, but again, a little bit different. One cool technique also is we have our cobblestone walls in place. We can also use mossy cobblestone walls to show that green if we wanted to. So we can mix some green mossy cobblestone walls in there to kind of show it a little bit if we really wanted to. But for the most part, I think that's probably about as much green as we'll add on to it. You can obviously add more or less if you want to, but I think that's a nice amount right there. That gives you a nice kind of appearance of camo and everything like that without overdoing it. I think we can actually probably use a green block right there, and that should probably be good. Anyways, that's going to pretty much do it for the camouflage, and with that, that's going to do it for the finished version of the McDonnell Douglas MD 500 Defender. If you guys do end up using this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This being a thing from the side of the build, click to my channel or this video if this does appear on your social media sites. As long as you guys give me credit for it, you're free to use it for projects you guys are working on, and I hope you guys do enjoy the build. Again, a special thanks to Fernand Weinchter for making this video possible, and if you guys are interested, feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link is down in the description. And that, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.